You may be seated. Finance chair. finance chair, is he not supposed to be sitting there? Good morning to you, ladies and gentlemen. If I can call the House to order. If I could ask Bishop Gotora to open this session with a word of prayer. She can come through, yeah. Thank you very much, Pastor. Yes. A notice, Chamber Secretary.
Thank you, Worship. Notice is hereby given that a special council of meeting. Notice is hereby given that a special meeting of council will be held in the council chamber, townhouse, on Tuesday, the 2nd of November, 2023 at 11 a.m.
Do we have any apologies, fellow councillors?
Apologies?
If you could speak up so that they can be noted. Okay. Item number 3, provisions of the Act regarding special meetings of council will be read out by the Chamber Secretary.
Thank you, Worship. In terms of Section 84, subsection 4 of the Urban Councils Act, no matters other than those specified in the notice shall be discussed at a special meeting, which means that our agenda for the day is as appears on item 5 of our agenda. We'll come to that later.
Item number 5 now. Okay, we go to item number 5, approval of the council budget for the financial year ending 31st December 2024.
Thank you once again, Your Worship. As you recall, on the 27th of October, joint council committees met, but they adjourned to the 31st of October 2023, and the following was agreed or was resolved: that council's 2024 capital estimates and capital development plan for the period 2025 to 2027 be approved for incorporation into the council budget for the financial year ending 31st of December 2024. On the 31st of October 2023, the Finance and Development Committee considered the revenue estimates for the financial year 2024 and it recommended to council that the revenue estimates for the financial year ending 31st of December 2024 be approved for incorporation into council budget for the financial year ending 31st of December 2024. So the recommendation is what is now prompted this special council to sit today. As such, the Finance and Development Committee Chairperson will now present the council budget speech and will then move for the adoption of the 2024 City of Harare budget as outlined in the recommendation that I've just read. Your Worship, Councillor Kadzombe will now invite the financial person to come and present the 2024 budget.
Okay, so I'm just going to read this speech. Yeah. I will invite you.
May we all rise?
Presence of the town clerk of the city of Harare, Engineer Chisango, chairpersons of committees here present, fellow councillors that are here, our city directors, the media fraternity, residents associations that are our critical stakeholders, and all other invited guests that have attended this program with us. I would also want to acknowledge Mr. Makarati, who is representing the Provincial Affairs and Devolution. Maybe if you could stand so that others could then see where you are seated. Mr. Makarati, okay, you are welcome. It is my great pleasure as we meet again during the presentation of the city budget by the Finance Committee Chairperson, Councillor Costa Mande. The city has a mandate to provide service delivery at affordable rates. The budget presentation comes as the country grapples with rising inflation. The city budget and service delivery is affected by the state of the economy at any moment. Service delivery, budget, and inflation cannot be separated. It is important to highlight to you that the city is working tirelessly to ensure service delivery improves. And as such, the decentralization process is currently being rolled out in all districts. The decentralization process is expected to go a long way in solving challenges being faced in service delivery. The city budget also comes as there is an increase in the informal sector, which is not taxed. The informal sector is critical, but more needs to be done to improve the infrastructure. Water and sanitation issues are also critical, considering the growing population of Harare, and the budget is expected to address such. Health delivery sectors such as the council, clinics, and hospitals is one sector that needs to be addressed by the budget. It is important to point out that the education sector needs to improve. For instance, the number of schools and related infrastructure need to be looked at critically. With all these issues in the city, let me call upon the Finance Committee Chairperson, Councillor Costa Mande, to present the 2024 City of Harare budget. I thank you. If we could just give him a round of applause as he comes up to the podium.
Thank you, Your Worship. Thank you, Your Worship. Your Worship, the Deputy Mayor, Councillor Kadzombe, Honorable Councillors here present, the Town Clerk of the City of Harare, Engineer Hosea Abraham Chisango, Heads of Departments here present, esteemed stakeholders and residents who are watching this budget presentation live on ZTN and on our social media platforms, invited guests, members of the media fraternity, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. Your Worship, allow me to extend my gratitude to all stakeholders whose input helped in modeling this budget through the budget consultation process we undertook. Due to the operating environment, which affected the normal ward-based physical meetings, we had a hybrid approach. We had physical meetings for the following groups: residents and residents associations, business community, women, faith-based organizations, youth, and people living with disabilities. These physical meetings were augmented by virtual. On record that this year's virtual consultations were very fruitful and comprehensive in terms of articulation of areas. Sincere appreciation to the residents of Harare for their patience and understanding during these challenging times. As a local, for the fortitude and the high level of tolerance. We know that waiting can be frustrating, and we appreciate their willingness to work with us as we navigate the challenges of providing services in a difficult operating environment. Their patience has been a true source of strength and resilience for us, and we are grateful for that. We understand that our services are essential to their daily lives, and we are committed to providing them as efficiently and effectively as provided for by the Urban Councils Act, Chapter 29.15. We want to assure the residents that we are doing everything we can do to provide the municipal services. Secondly, I would like to acknowledge the government of the Republic of Zimbabwe for disbursing devolution funds utilized mainly in water, sanitation, and hygiene sector with wastewater projects. The funds partially helped to alleviate major public health problems, particularly in Mbare and other cholera hotspots in Harare. However, we implore the government to disburse the devolution funds in time and at least as per the agreed disbursement during the budgeting process. Thirdly, we would also want to acknowledge Zinara for the disbursement of road funds, which enabled us to undertake road repairs and rehabilitation on certain roads under the roads program. We pray for the review and expeditious disbursement of these funds to enable us to perform our mandate effectively, as the allocations are inadequate for the road infrastructure gap we have as a city. Finally, commendations also go to our development partners, particularly those who invested in water, sanitation, and hygiene and social services sector. These partners contributed towards the attainment of our key outcomes. Your Worship, the theme for this budget is accelerating quality service delivery for everyone. Accelerating quality service delivery for everyone. Your Worship, I move this motion in line with Section 276 of the Constitution of Zimbabwe, number 20 of 2013, that gives local authorities the power to levy rates and taxes to raise sufficient revenue for them to carry out their objectives and responsibilities. Section 47 of the Public Finance Management Act requires that Council submits to the Minister of Local Government and Public Works a budget of estimated revenue and expenditure for the 2024 financial year and the related annual strategic plan for approval. The Council approved budget shall be submitted to the Minister through the accounting officer, who may make recommendations to the Minister with regards to the approval or amendment of the budget. In line with this Act of Parliament, the 2024 budget neither has an accumulate surplus or deficit. Furthermore, Section 288 of the Urban Councils Act supports the constitutional provision by demanding that each year every committee shall prepare detailed estimates of the income and expenditure on revenue and capital accounts of that committee for the ensuing financial year and submit the estimates to the Finance and Development Committee. I hereby present and lay a consolidation of these submissions before Council. It is my sincere hope that all the committees of Council that have submitted their estimates would use them as their guide to steer them in 2024 in line with our endeavor to accelerating quality service delivery for everyone. I'm making an undertaking that every quarter of the year, beginning in April 2024, I will present before you an update of the budget performance in this chamber for review. Your Worship, according to the 2024 budget strategy paper issued by the Ministry of Finance and Investment Promotion in August 2023, the global economic growth is projected to be 2.8% in 2023 before rebounding to 3% in 2024. This is mainly due to China reopening its economy, the unwinding of supply chain disruptions, and the fiscal and monetary stimulus support in major economies. The Ministry of Finance and Investment Promotion also posits that the sub-Saharan Africa region's economic growth outlook expected to moderate to 3.6% in 2023, before recovering to 4.2% in 2024, driven mainly by a higher private sector consumption and investment, as well as global economic recovery. The regional growth will be weighed down by inflationary pressures, higher borrowing costs, and sluggish growth in the region's major trading partner, South Africa. Your Worship, coming back home, the latest GDP estimates by Zimstats indicate that the economy grew by 6.5% year-on-year during 2022, driven by continued strong performance in both the mining and the non-mining sectors. Furthermore, according to those estimates, economic growth is expected to remain positive and is projected at 5.3%, 5.2%, and 5% for year 2023, 2024, and 2025, respectively, well within the growth targets. Such bolstering of economic activities in the country will have a positive knock-on effect on Council, as the ratepayers will have the capacity to pay taxes. On exchange rate, Your Worship, again as advised by the Ministry of Finance and Investment Promotion, fiscal and monetary measures instituted by government re-established the stability in the foreign exchange market by containing liquidity injections in the economy and increasing demand for the local currency. Foreign exchange stability and convergence removes arbitrage opportunities and other distortions in the economy, reduces uncertainty, and makes it easier for business to plan and budget for future transactions. This recent statutory instrument 218 of 2023, which extends the multiple currency regime to 2030, promulgated by government, will also help us as local authorities to effectively plan. We continue to pray for economic stability, which is a critical ingredient for accelerating quality service delivery for everyone. On inflation, The 2024 budget strategy paper also indicated that prices in domestic currency rose sharply from April 2023 in response to the rapid depreciation in the exchange rates. Although US dollar prices continued to fall, with USD month-on-month inflation averaging minus 1.2% for the period January to May 2023. In this regard, the weighted inflation rate slowdown that had been experienced since the second half of 2022 increased the annual inflation to 175.8% in June 2023. The month of September 2023 closed off with an official annual inflation rate of 18.4%, signifying more stability in the key economic indicator. Inflation posed a major challenge to the ratepayers, negatively impacting on the performance of council as disposable income was eroded. This led to failure to honor obligations by government, industry, commerce, and domestic consumers of our goods and services. On local government sector issues, Your Worship, the 2023 harmonized election has brought in a fairly new dispensation with only 17 councillors who were in the previous council and a majority who are in the local government sector for the first time. The expectation of residents is that there would be a positive transformation on how council delivers services. However, as we seek to accelerate service delivery improvement towards the satisfaction of the citizens, we need to take note of the following local government sector issues. Service delivery challenges. Harare faces service delivery challenges such as inadequate potable water, healthcare, potholed roads, poor public lighting, and inadequate primary schools to service the ever-growing population. The country's economic performance, coupled with internal operational challenges, has contributed to the shortfall in service delivery. In 2023, the persistent waste management challenges in local authorities led to the gazetting of Statutory Instrument 140 of 2023. This helped in partially dealing with waste management challenges as the Environmental Management Agency, EMA, came in with 2 refuse compactors to service the CBD and 1 tipper truck for dump clearance. However, the challenges persist, and we believe the recapitalization of the amenities division with the refuse compactors, tipper trucks, and other waste collection assets is critical if we are to achieve our outcomes in this sector. The full implementation of the Integrated Solid Waste Management Plan will help in alleviating the challenges. On limited funding, cash flow challenges makes it difficult for council to provide essential services. Key to the above is our failure to renew infrastructure. We have aged the infrastructure, which makes it urgent to invest in infrastructure development projects, particularly in wash, roads, and social services programs. Enterprise resource planning system. Your Worship, the city has been faced with ERP challenges that has affected revenue collection and the production of timeous financial statements. We have a tender that is running for the procurement of a new ERP system, and we hope that by the beginning of the 2024 financial year, we will have a system that will be running for effective financial management. Low revenue collection efficiency. Your Worship, the city has suffered a low revenue collection efficiency of 47% due to service delivery deficiencies among other issues. Comprehensive strategies which are all-encompassing must be put in place to address this challenge. On Auditor General's remarks, the city must remedy issues raised by the Auditor General for the past audits to move away from disclaimer audit opinion which the city has been attracting over the years. It is our intention that by 2025, we will have clean audits after having addressed the recurring issues. On energy cost, Your Worship, the cost of energy, electricity and fuel has also caused the escalation of the cost of production of potable water. On water treatment chemicals, Your Worship, the prices of water treatment chemicals continue to be dominated in USD, whilst the city is charging for water services in the local currency. The currency discrepancies mean that we continue to be overburdened by the continuous soaring of prices of water treatment chemicals. On employment cost, Your Worship, in the period under review, employment cost took an upward trajectory as employees continued to clamor for a living wage against the background of loss in value of the local currency. We responded by indexing the salaries to the USD to preserve value, but this again has created a challenge for us as the depreciation of the local currency in June impacted negatively the salary bill, resulting in the city having salary arrears. Concerted effort is being made to clear the arrears and to make the wage bill sustainable for the city. There is a direct correlation of statutory obligation and salaries. If we tame the salary bill, we will be able to contain the statutory obligations burden. Debtors. Your Worship, the debtors' position remains a challenge as there is now a dilemma where residents say, deliver, we pay, and we say, pay, we deliver. To that effect, as we struggle with service delivery, the debtors' position continues to rise and is now 486.58 billion as of 30 September 2023 from the January 2023 position of 96.07 billion. This position has placed the Council in a dire situation regarding funding of service delivery operations. In 2024 financial year, we intend to implement strategies to recover this debt as our performance in collection of revenue has a direct bearing on budget performance and also on service delivery. Chief among the interventions are timeous and efficient bill delivery. We want to make sure that every billed household receives a bill either electronically or physically. Improving service delivery. Expenditure will be prioritized more towards refuse collection and water infrastructure so as to improve visibility of council in communities. On performance management framework, council has adopted a performance management framework which includes revenue collection targets for departments. On resolving ERP issue, as one of our key interventions, Council is in the process of resolving the ERP issue to bring about an ERP system that will enhance Council performance. On dealing with the revenue leakages, through improvement in internal controls and zero tolerance to corruption and theft. On enforcement, Your Worship, we seek to increase our presence in the city to enforce the bylaws. On creditors, Your Worship, the creditors stood at 193.65 billion as at 30 September 2023 from the 1 January 2023 balance of 12.79 billion as Council faced constrained cash flows. The major drivers to the creditors' position are statutory obligations at 35.2%, electricity 20.7%, trade creditors 17.15%, net salaries 13.11%, and water chemicals at 13.79%. The surge in salaries in the month of June led to a significant increase in statutory obligations as there is a direct relationship. On billing, our tariffs are indexed in USD and payments will be done in compliance with SI 185 of 2020. On audits, Your Worship, the city was last audited. The financial statements are for 2019. The 2020 financial statements are currently under audit, and the 2021 and 2022 drafts are ready for audit, awaiting finalization of prior audits. We target to be up to date with audits by the first half of 2024. On procurement. Procurement for the city is negatively impacted by activities in the parallel market, which has brought about distortions. Our suppliers continue to index goods and services to the parallel market against the position that we operate in compliance with the national official rates. Resulting from this, the city is procuring goods and services expensively. Furthermore, most companies in the quest to do business using a stable currency shun from responding to our quest for supply of goods and services, leaving the city vulnerable to extortionate service providers who exorbitantly peg their services in Zimbabwe dollar to compensate for speculative loss in value. Local economic and operational environment. Your Worship, Zimbabwe's economy has a large informal sector which is not taxed. The SMEs in the Harare metropolitan province are estimated to be contributing 25% to the national GDP. The SME sector in Harare is a pool of entrepreneurial talent that can be harnessed to fuel local economic growth. In response to the developments in this sector, we developed a small to medium enterprise policy which is meant to regulate the sector for seamless operations. Your Worship, we reviewed 15 bylaws in 2023, including model building bylaws, traffic bylaws, parking meters, physical examination, and occupation of council buildings. We also developed 5 new ones, including land use and natural resources, funeral parlors and mortuaries, and development control, which, if gazetted, will regulate activities and give us the legal basis to collect revenue to fund service delivery. Your Worship, the master plan needs review, and I am happy to note that it has been given due attention in the 2024 budget. This will give a conceptual layout of future growth and development of the city as Council envisages to make a significant contribution to the national fiscus through the growth of local gross domestic product. It is important that this project is fully implemented in 2024 as it will set the tone for the development in the city. On investment opportunities, Your Worship, public-private partnerships are an appropriate approach for the city of Harare to implement infrastructure development projects. Triple Ps provide access to private sector expertise, financing, and ensures that risk is shared. In view of the above, the following projects will be funded under the Triple P model in 2024. waste transfer stations, 6, valued at 1.2 million US dollars. Material recovery centers, 6 of them, valued at USD $800,000. And installation of public lighting management system, valued at 345,000 US dollars. Other than the aforementioned projects, a key investment opportunity is renewable energy. Service delivery is negatively affected by power outages and the ballooning cost of electricity. The city infrastructure and land presents an opportunity to set up solar plants that can directly feed the key service centers or feed into the grid for a net metering agreement. Other opportunities include development of a hotel and conference center at Harare Dam, Greenwood Farm Industrial Park, Market Square Bus Terminus, and Golden Quarry Bus Terminus, among others. Review of the 2023 budget. Your Worship, for the period 1 January to 30 September 2023, the city received 330.21 billion Zimbabwean dollars against a potential of 703.12 billion Zimbabwe dollars, giving a collection efficiency of 47%. The revenue inflows were predominantly from billed services, constituting 57% of the total receipts. The city did not fully exploit potential revenue streams due to non-implementation of bylaws, which await approval, and weak enforcement of existing bylaws. The city failed to raise interest charges on outstanding debtors, which we propose must be fully implemented on all overdue accounts. On expenditure, Your Worship, total expenditures for the same period amounted to 420.16 billion Zimbabwean dollars against a proportionate budget of 697.07 billion Zimbabwean dollars. Expenditure for the year is mainly attributed to major cost drivers, namely salaries, electricity, fuel, and water chemicals. Your Worship, the escalating inflation and the existence of the parallel exchange market cannot be ignored. As the key economic indicators of inflation and exchange rate worsened around mid-year, the level of arbitrage by our service providers resulted in the city requiring suppliers to quote in USD and get payments in Zimbabwean dollars, converted at the ruling official exchange rate. This minimized the level of price variation from suppliers, but the existence of the parallel market still led to the suppliers overstating the USD quotations. Your Worship, your council is working to manage these supplier relations and curtail expenditure so as not to overstretch creditor days. On devolution, Your Worship, devolution funds amounting to 2.32 billion Zimbabwean dollars, translating to 20.5% of the budgetary provision of 11.3 billion were deposited into our accounts and utilized mainly for Mbare sewer lines rehabilitation, Kwadzana outfall sewer, and Korobra aerated lagoons for sewer treatment. The balance of 850 million Zimbabwean dollars is awaiting partial payment for the procurement of tractors. On Zinara, Your Worship, during the period under review, the city received a total of 7.516 billion Zimbabwean dollars, which was utilized for the rehabilitation of 4 kilometers of road length, namely Gross Wagner, Sloan, Lavender, Glencover Avenue, and Chimanda Street in Glenview 7, and for routine maintenance. Clearly, more is needed from Zinara if we are going to reverse the further deterioration of the city's roads network. On recapitalization, Your Worship, recapitalization is the backbone which provides sustenance to any organization. To that effect, using our own revenues, we procured plant and equipment, service delivery vehicles, and other assets at a total cost of 14.096 billion Zimbabwean dollars. We managed to procure the following in the 2023 financial year: tipper trucks 5, backhoe loaders 4, flatbed 3, service delivery vehicles 9, desktop computers and printers 25, 1 grader and 2 excavators. Your Worship, in the year 2023, in addition to the recapitalization drive, we also embarked on various projects in the water and wastewater sector in an effort to enhance service delivery. We utilized devolution funds to the tune of 1.335 billion Zimbabwean dollars to replace the water and wastewater infrastructure in Mbare Annex and Joburg lines. The impact is reduced environmental pollution. You all appreciate that Mbare is one of the oldest suburbs in Harare, and as such, the infrastructure is so aged. Your Worship, we began implementation of the chlorine dioxide project for modern treatment of water. The total project cost is $5.370 million US dollars, and we managed to pay $1.1 million US dollars from our own revenues. The project is expected to result in the optimization of the chemical dosing regimen at Morton Jeffrey. Chlorine dioxide generators were successfully installed, and if completed, the project will result in reduced cost of water treatment. This project is being carried over into 2024, and we hope to commission the plant in the first quarter of next year. Your Worship, we also rehabilitated Acturas Road pump station and installed new pump sets and associated pump gear in the pump station at a total cost of $11.5 thousand US dollars. This improved the efficiency and the reliability of the pump station and also enhanced the water supply coverage. Your Worship, during the 2023 financial year, we managed to undertake rehabilitation works at FEO, our largest sewer treatment plant. We managed to rehabilitate FEO Unit 5C at a total cost of $25,000 US dollars. The outcome was improved quality of effluent from the treatment plant and reduced environmental pollution. On the 2024 budget, Your Worship, as we prepared the 2024 budget, we were guided by the City of Harare strategic plan, which is aligned to the national priorities. We are also alive to the need for the city as a key player to national gross domestic product to contribute to the key fundamentals. The other major consideration was the need to decentralize service delivery operations so that residents are able to receive adequate services from the districts. It is in this vein that the 2024 budget and the capital development plan will provide for recapitalization drive so that all the districts have plant, equipment, and equipment which are critical in service delivery. The budget before you is a responsive budget that has paid attention to the issues raised by stakeholders through the consultative process. Key among the issues raised were the provision of water and sanitation, infrastructure development, social service delivery, public safety and security, protection of the environment, and fairness in tariffs charged by the city of Harare. The 2024 budget, whilst it takes cognizance of issues raised by the stakeholders, it is also an outward-looking financial plan. The budget seeks to facilitate economic growth and development, which will act as a catalyst to national economic transformation. The pivotal role of the capital city cannot be understated. Harare is a gateway to Zimbabwe. Through the 2024 budget, we will create a city that has full functionality across service delivery facets, building our way to a smart city. We will create a city that is attractive to investors through vast business opportunities. A city that recognizes the role played by small to medium enterprise and therefore created the requisite infrastructure and the regulatory environment to enable smooth, orderly operations of this sector, which contribute significantly to the national gross domestic product. We will create a city that has governance structures aligned to the international best practices which promote transparency and accountability. We will create a city that recognizes that climate change is a reality and will therefore undertake projects to mitigate against this phenomenon. A city that seeks to promote gender equality through gender mainstreaming in line with the national trajectory. Your Worship, as the theme for this budget is accelerating quality service delivery for everyone, this means finding ways to improve the efficiency and effectiveness of public service delivery to meet stakeholders' expectations and needs, and also appeal to potential investors. This is becoming increasingly important as residents expect value for money. They do not honor their obligation when the service does not meet their expectations. To achieve this, we must find ways to improve the quality of service, accessibility for all, and satisfactory customer experiences and outcomes, while being cost-effective. This can be done by developing customer-centric models that put the customer at the heart of service design and delivery, drawing inspiration from the private sector's success in this area. Improving stakeholder experience and satisfaction with our services will be achieved by focusing on the following: providing efficient municipal services to the communities, water services, waste management, health and housing delivery must be enhanced. Making services accessible to the resident. Enhancing transparency and accountability through the relevant governance structures. Providing excellent in-person service delivery for residents when they access services at physical locations. Understanding the customers and their needs through citizen engagement. Offering multiple ways for stakeholders to provide feedback. Adopting technology as a key enabler in improving service delivery through adopting modern payment methods and automation of our processes. Your Worship, fellow councillors, it is my honor to present for your approval the 2024 revenue and capital estimates. 2024 budget focus. The 2024 budget is a service delivery budget skewed towards water and sanitation, underpinned by robust governance. Your Worship, therefore, the budget before you is a plan whose main thrust should be to accelerate service delivery improvement and advance the well-being of the residents of Harare. The 2024 estimates are advised by outcomes and outputs in the 6 program areas to achieve the envisioned city. Your Worship, the city of Harare endeavors to contribute to the national growth targets and bring about stability in the service delivery. To align and support the national vision, provisional plans, and local plans vision, the city's 2024 budget will embark on a range of infrastructural projects in the following areas: water and sanitation, roads, public safety and security, health, education, and social amenities. The 2024 budget seeks to support infrastructure development. The budget will prioritize completion of the chlorine dioxide project at Morton Jeffrey Water Treatment Plant. The project is expected to reduce the number of chemicals used in the purification of water. This will have a positive impact on the reduction of the cost of chemicals and the subsequent water tariff. Rehabilitation of intake works at Lake Chiwero and Darwendale will improve quality of raw water abstracted. Refurbishment at Morton Jeffrey through rehabilitation of 14 filters and replacement of 3 pumps will improve water production and pumping to 520 megaliters a day from the current average of 300 megaliters a day. Furthermore, intervention in the distribution network through pipe replacement and installation of 2,000 commercial and 40,000 domestic prepaid water meters, as well as replacement of 40,000 conventional water meters. This will result in the reduction of non-revenue water by 2% from 60% to 58%. These metering interventions are expected to improve revenue collection efficiency to 60% from the current 40% attributed to the targeted consumers. Support on infrastructure development through road construction and rehabilitation, which is key enabler for economic growth and development. To support microeconomic stability by proposing taxes and levies that are just and equitable, resulting in reduction of cost of doing business and attracting both local and foreign direct investment. To protect the vulnerable groups of this society, the city will launch and implement community-based health insurance in 2024. The target area for pilot implementation is Southern District, which covers Mbare, Hatfield, Braeside, Arcadia, Waterfalls, and Southern incorporated areas. Community-based health insurance attempts to ensure universal health coverage in Harare. More than 90% of Harare residents are not insured for health, and many suffer catastrophic health expenditure, as also noted by the World Bank in 2015. Community-based health insurance provides affordable health insurance that is owned and managed by the community. Results-based financing will continue to be implemented in all clinics, ensuring that every pregnant woman in Harare have equal access to standard maternal health care. This program covers poor pregnant mothers who ordinarily may not afford to pay the $25 maternity fees at council clinics. The cover packages provide antenatal care, delivery, and postnatal care at all council clinics. The city will be constructing an enhanced polyclinic in Mayoral to correct a long-standing disparity that all the 12 polyclinics in Harare are located only in the high-density suburbs. The clinic will come with both private and public rooms to accommodate the needs of some residents who may need private services from our institutions. However, the public rooms will ensure affordable service provision with the general public. To improve socio-economic development through refurbishment of social amenities, the city seeks to embark on a refurbishing of its halls and stadia to world-class standards and complete the construction of markets across the city's wards. Specific to community centers, the city will renovate these for use by youth for different activities as part of the broader measures to fight against drug and substance abuses. Protecting environment through the implementation of the local environment action plan, the city is also continuing renewable energy programs through installation of solar facilities in all the 26 district offices. On our gender budget statement, given that the budget is an instrument used for translating people's aspirations into tangible results, the city is utilizing the gender-responsive budgeting as a strategy to promote and accelerate gender mainstreaming. Ultimately, it will contribute towards the achievement of the national vision and inclusive social economic growth, as well as gender equality and women empowerment, support the achievement of the 2030 Sustainable Development Goals. Your Worship, to facilitate mainstreaming of gender in our budgetary process, capacity building trainings were conducted from top to the bottom. Furthermore, administrative measures were buttressed by amending the gender policies as formulation and implementation of gender-sensitive policies and laws remain the cornerstone. The approach involves gender mainstreaming through the budgetary process. This includes prioritizing gender-responsive service delivery. Your Worship, this is the reason why the 2024 budget is skewed towards water, sanitation, and the hygiene sector. The social service budget will attend to gender mainstreaming through primary schools construction in 4 high-density areas of Harare, namely Glaudina, Budiriro, Huadzana, and Krobra. Street lighting project embarked on this year will follow through in subsequent years to provide well-lit streets and work as a mitigatory measure towards violation of women and girls in our communities. We did the groundbreaking ceremony for Mayoral Clinic in 2023, and in 2024 the construction will take place, availing additional maternity services for our women. Your Worship, the total budget to achieve 2024 targets is as follows. Capital expenditure, $135,994,300. Recurrent expenditure, $442,554,600, to bring a total of $578,548,900 United States dollars. The capital funding structure is as follows. Our own funding, we have 91,182,300 United States dollars. Intergovernmental fiscal transfers, 17,755,000 United States dollars. Public-private partnerships, 2 million United States dollars. Loans, 15,137,000 United States dollars. PSIP, 6 million United States dollars. Zinara, we expect 3,250,000 United States dollars. Donations, 270,000. To bring a total capital funding structure of 135,994,300 United States dollars. On water and sanitation and hygiene program, it's 216,478,100 United States dollars. The water, sanitation and hygiene program is a very key component of our city, and if we perform well in this sector, we would have dealt with downstream problems, particularly in the public health sector. The key outcome is improved water, sanitation and hygiene. In 2024 and subsequent years, we intend to undertake key projects that will turn around service provisions in the wash sector as highlighted below. Rehabilitation of Chivero and Dawendel intake works. Rehabilitation of pump station number 3, pumps 7 to 10. Rehabilitation of filters at Morton Jeffrey. Rehabilitation of Letombo pump station. Water distribution pipes and valve replacement, about 20 kilometers. And installation of prepaid water meters. Skip trucks 5 and skip compactors, metal bins 100. Refuse compactors about 15. Tractors and trailers 52. Construction of material recovery centers for solid waste, 6 of them. Solid waste transfer stations, 5. We have made the following allocations in the water, sanitation and hygiene program. On solid waste, 49,574,300 United States dollars. Wastewater services, 30,104,400 United States dollars. Water services, 136,799,400 United States dollars. To bring a total of 216,478,100 United States dollars. The program will be funded as follows. Intergovernmental fiscal transfers, about 14,785,500. Our own revenues, 186,220,600 United States dollars. Triple P's, 2 million United States dollars. Loans, 9,072,000. PSIP, 6,400,000. To bring a total of 216,478,100. On roads program, there's an allocation of 75,712,500. Your Worship, the strategic objective of the program is to improve the trafficability of the road network. As a city, we have an estimate of 5,000 kilometers of road network that we must maintain and rehabilitate. Your Worship, 87% of our road network is in need of rehabilitation. The city desires to rehabilitate 250 kilometers of road network annually for the next 5 years at an estimated annual cost of $250 million. Furthermore, the city must carry out routine maintenance of 1,200 kilometers annually at an estimated cost of $60 million. For the year 2024, the city targets to rehabilitate 60 kilometers of roads and carry out 500 kilometers of routine maintenance with funding from Zenara. The highlighted figures indicate the funding gap which must be met for the roads to be trafficable. Your Worship, due to the capital-intensive nature of the program, the city has been unable to mobilize adequate resources. From our own funds, the city intends to procure operational assets for the roads program utilizing funds from our strategic business unit, City Parking Private Limited and Harare Quarry, to cut on cost of hiring specialized road equipment. The city will ring-fence city parking funds for road infrastructure and capital equipment. The city will also cover operational cost of the program from its own resources. We therefore appeal to the government and other stakeholders to partner the city to help us meet the funding requirements highlighted above. The roads program will be funded as follows. On road infrastructure, $58,072,500 United States dollars. On traffic management, $17,640,000 United States dollars, to bring a total of $75,712,500 United States dollars. The sources of funding are as highlighted below. Zenara, provisionally we expect $3,250,000 United States dollars. Our own revenues, $69,462,500. Loans, $1,500,000 United States dollars. Intergovernmental fiscal transfers, $1,500,000 United States dollars, to bring a total of $75,712,500 United States dollars. On public safety and security, we allocated $49,801,100. Your Worship, the strategic objective of the program is to improve the safety of the citizens in the city. Our emergency services remain in a dire state. Our 2024 budget seeks to capacitate the sector for service delivery improvement. We intend to commence construction of a fire station in Mayoral and procure ambulances, among other assets, as the fleet no longer meets the demands of the city. We also intend to undertake street lighting in the CBD as well as residential areas. The budgetary allocation for the program will be as follows. Emergency services, $13,517,500 United States dollars. Municipal police, $24,096,400 United States dollars. Public lighting, $12,187,200 United States dollars, to bring a total of $49,801,100 United States dollars. The sources of funding are our own revenues, $47,101,100 United States dollars. Loan, donation 200 million, to bring a total of $49,801,100 United States dollars. On social services, which includes social amenities, health, education, and housing, we allocated $93,316,400. Your Worship, the strategic objective of the program is to improve the standard of living of the community by providing quality and adequate housing, education, health, and social amenities. Under this program, we propose to construct 2 primary schools in Budiriro and Kuadzana and complete Glaudina Primary School. We will attend to our health facilities by doing upgrades at Tariro, Rujeko, Glenview, and commence construction of Ushokunze District Hospital. On social amenities, we will undertake works to complete Rufaro Stadium and refurbish City Sports Center and Gwanzura Stadium as key projects. We intend to refurbish our community halls across the city to cater for our youth recreational facilities and curb drug and substance abuse. In 2024, in response to the demand for burial space, we will construct a new burial site in Ironstone. In the quest to support small to medium enterprise, we will complete Seke Deep Market and construct and refurbish markets across the city. To achieve the objectives of this program, we have made the following allocations. Housing, $12,195,900. Education, $744,300. Social amenities, $18,091,700. On health, $50,746,500. Informal sector, $4,938,000, to bring a total of $93,316,400 United States dollars. These are going to be funded by intergovernmental fiscal transfers of $1,600,000 United States dollars, our own revenues of $91,445,400, loans of $301,000, and donations of $70,000, to bring a total of $93,316,400 United States dollars. On governance and admin program, we have allocated $141,662,600 United States dollars. Your Worship, the governance and administration program is a cluster of departments that provide governance and administration support in council. In essence, these are the finance department, the human capital department, the chamber secretary's department, and the town clerk's office. The major outcome of this program is improved corporate governance and administration. Budget allocation to the various sub-programs within the governance program were made as follows. The council, $29,991,900. CEO, $25,898,700. Human resources, $14,269,000. Finance, $19,590,000. Technical services, $51,913,000. To bring a total of $141,662,600. The funding structure will be as follows. Our own revenues, $140,048,600 United States dollars. Loans of $1,614,000. to bring a total of $141,662,600 United States dollars. On natural resources conservation and management, we have allocated 1,330,200. Your Worship, the strategic objective of the program is to promote conservation of natural resources for sustainable development within the community. This program is no sub-program and will be funded partly from its generated revenues of 403,100 and deficit from the property tax. Council has adopted local environmental action plan which will guide the program in the areas. The 2024 revenue projections. Your Worship, the following external and internal revenues will accrue to the city as follows. External, intergovernmental fiscal transfers capital grant of 17,755,000 United States dollars. PSIP, $6,400,000. Operational grants, 3,111,700. Loans, 15,137,000. Zinara, 3,850,000. Triple Ps, 2 million. Donations, 270,000. To bring a total of external amounts to 47,923,700. On our internal revenues, our own revenues, 530,625,200. Your Worship, the above own revenue amounting to United States 530,625,200 United States dollars will come from the following income streams. Refuse collection, 30,847,300. Parks fees, 568,300. Wastewater, 24,473,900. Property tax, 255,212,900 United States dollars. Cemetery fees, 3,200,000. Water services, 121,399,400. Business licenses, 9,477,200. Municipal police services, 3 million. Housing, 5,900,000. City parking, 3,300,000. Estates, 15,520,900. Welfare, 1,200,000. Building inspectorate, 12,373,700 United States dollars. Emergency services, 3,300,000. Endowment fees, 3,250,000. Education fees, 3,845,500. Hospital and clinic fees, 3,200,000. Rank discs, 5,662,200. Town planning fees, 1,781,900. SMEs, 9,547,400. Other services, 9,064,600 United States dollars. The 2024 projected expenditures. Your Worship, I now turn to the projected expenditures and revenues for the various programs. On the WASH program, Your Worship, the WASH program is the cornerstone of service delivery. It has a projected expenditure of $216,478,100 United States dollars, and will fund its activities through cost recovery tariffs after taking into consideration funding from devolution, loans, and other sources. The WASH program is expected to realize internal revenues amounting to $176,720,600 United States dollars to support its functions. The resultant tariff will remain the same for refuse and basic water consumption level, with minimal increase of at most 5% in subsequent user bans for water. These are detailed in the tariff annexure 2 attached to this speech. On roads program, Your Worship, the roads program is a total expenditure of $75.7125 million United States dollars. The revenue for this program will be drawn from billboards, $1.4066 million United States dollars, parking fees, $3.3 million United States dollars, and endowment fees of $3.25 million United States dollars. Zinara fees amounting to $3.85 million United States dollars. The deficit will be covered by property tax. The social services program, Your Worship, the social services with total expenditure of $93.5644 million United States dollars is expected to generate own revenue of $52.4593 million United States dollars. Business license will realize $12.667 million United States dollars. Health fees, $947.8 thousand United States dollars. Housing, $5.9 million. Education, $3.85 million United States dollars. And small to medium enterprises, $9.55 million United States dollars. The shortfall from this program is offset by property tax. Hospital and clinic fees in 2024 will remain the same as in the 2023 to promote access to health by all. It is expected that the government grants for drugs and related programs will cover the shortfalls as well as contribution from property tax. Your Worship, council rented accommodation will be rationalized. On public safety and security, Your Worship, public safety and security with a projected expenditure of $49.8 million is expected to generate own revenue of $6.6 million United States dollars. The program shortfall will be subsidized by property tax. Ambulance fees will remain the same as in the year 2023. On governance and administration, Your Worship, this is the program where property tax resides and is responsible for offsetting shortfalls incurred by other programs. The program total expenditure is $141.66 million United States dollars. The program is expected to generate own revenues amounting to $271.22 million United States dollars. The revenue will come mainly from property tax of $255.21 million United States dollars on implementation of the recently completed general valuation role. Technical services comprising city architect and town planning will yield $12.37 million United States dollars and $1.71 million United States dollars respectively. On natural resources and conservation, the program will with total expenditure of 1.33 million United States dollars, is expected to generate own revenue amounting to 307.6 thousand, with shortfall being offset by property tax. On the recommendations, Your Worship, some of the recommendations listed below were pronounced in the 2023 budget, but were not fully implemented. I therefore propose that this be carried forward to 2024 in addition to the new ones. 1. ERP. Council should bring to finality within the first quarter of 2024 the procurement of a robust ERP system to improve financial management. 2. IPSAS implementation. Council needs to be IPSAS compliant by 31st December 2024 to enhance transparency and accountability. 3. Decentralization of services. Council should prioritize the capacitation of the decentralization strategy. This will ensure that residents have ease of access to services. 4. Recapitalization. Council should prioritize investment in capital expenditure to enhance capacity to provide quality services and ensure sustainability. 5. Anti-corruption reforms. Council should implement policies and measures in alignment to national policies that deter, detect, and respond to corruption. 6. Disposal of unserviceable assets. Council should dispose all assets that no longer have service potential in order to reduce cost of repairs and replace the assets. 7. Community-based refuse collection. The city should increase awareness programs to promote responsible waste management at community and household levels. 8. Electricity charges. Council should expedite the feasibility study for the proposed solar farm project and look for development partners to undertake the project, which when actualized will curb the ever-increasing energy costs, which have become a major cost driver affecting service delivery. 9. Rehabilitation of social amenities. Council must rehabilitate social amenities to curb drug and substance abuse services. 10. Establishment of a rehabilitation center. Council must identify from its many buildings one which can be converted into a rehabilitation center for victims of drug and substance abuse. 11. Water meter replacement. We propose that residents purchase their own replacement meters from council accredited suppliers and the cost reimbursed by council through their monthly bills. Council will retain the responsibility of installing the meters. 12. Project monitoring and evaluation. To institute project monitoring to ensure accountability, transparency, and enhanced efficiency. In conclusion, before I close, Your Worship and fellow councillors, allow me to recognize the following. The various stakeholders, including the residents of Harare, who through physical and virtual meetings have given council valuable feedback, which has been broadly incorporated in the preparation of these estimates. My fellow councillors, for deliberating on these estimates and giving guidance during the preparations. The town clerk, heads of departments and their staff, who were involved in the preparations of these estimates. Your Worship, the successful implementation of the program spelled out above requires that the various stakeholders, including the residents, which are the ratepayers of the city of Harare, to pay their bills when they fall due. Everyone must pay for services. There is a cost to doing business or living in an urban setup. This is the only way your council will be able to provide services to their expectations. Finally, Your Worship, the budget that is before you is reasonable. Residents were consulted and we listened. Council took heed and responded with a budget that aims to provide the accelerated service delivery improvement as demonstrated by our theme, accelerating quality service delivery for everyone. Accelerating quality service delivery for everyone. Water, wastewater, refuse collection, and roads have been given preference in the budget before you. Our goals and targets are purely products and byproducts of the financial performance of the city. It is quite imperative to note that service delivery is a function of the financial performance of council. I now have the pleasure, Your Worship, fellow councillors, in asking council to approve the 2024 estimates of expenditure revenues. The City of Harare 2024 budget, accelerating quality service delivery for everyone. I thank you, Siyabonga. Tatenda.
Now we move on to the adoption of the budget, fellow councillors. Chairperson Finance, if you could move for the adoption, and then if we could get a seconder from other councillors.
Thank you, Your Worship. With that, I move for the adoption of the 2024 City of Harare budget.
Okay, Councillor Manyenga.
I second the budget.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Your Worship.
Thank you, Chairman.
Thank you, Your Worship.
I think we are done with the budget proceedings, but I would want to ask fellow councillors if we could remain seated, and our guests that have come through to go through this program with us, so that we can have an opportunity to swear in one of our fellow councillors, Wombera Inende, who had not been sworn in when we had our swearing in. So that is the next program that is going to go on. So Chamber Secretary, if you can take over.
Thank you, Your Worship. Maybe you may remain seated on your seat. Myself and the town clerk will then go to that desk for the swearing. Is he around?